Hey everyone, welcome back with a new lecture with ISO 9001-2015 edition. In the previous lecture I have explained clause number 7 support, and the first point is resources. Resources are very important to achieve all objectives of the organization. So the organization shall have all resources required to achieve the scope of the organization, to enhance the customer satisfaction and to provide him with the product or service with a high quality and to provide him with the valid and reliable results. And from these resources, the people or personnel. And the second point is the competence. The organization shall ensure the personal competency. That will be based on their education, their training, their experience before joining the work or after joining the work. And before giving them any task or any activity, you shall ensure their competency. So the organization shall determine the necessary competence of persons before joining the work. You shall ensure their education, their qualification, training, and if they have any experience related to this job before joining the work. And after joining the work and before giving them any task or any activity, you shall ensure their competency also. Ensure that these persons are competent enough to perform their tasks. And after that, if you found that they need more training in a specific part, take immediate action by giving them training to acquire necessary competency through training, whether internal training or external training. And after that, you shall evaluate the effectiveness of actions taken. You shall evaluate their competency after training. And all of this process, you shall have documented informations related to all of this process. How to apply this clause? You shall have personal file for each person, including their education certificates, training certificates if they have, and also if they have any old experience, the experience certificate. You should measure their competency. You should measure the competence of persons affecting the performance of quality management system. And that will be every year. Every year you will check or ensure their competency, and that will be recorded in the competence form. In this competence form, you will give them a specific test based on the nature of their job, and the result of this test will be recorded in the competence form. And after testing the competency of persons, if you find any need for more training, you shall provide them with this training and keep the certificate for this training for each person. And evaluate the effectiveness of training by evaluating again their competence and record everything. Before giving a new task for any person inside the organization, whether a new staff or old staff, to any person, you shall ensure his competency and record also in the competency form, and keep all documented information as an evidence for each person in his personal file. And awareness is closely related to the competence of persons. The organization shall increase the awareness of persons relating to their effectiveness on the performance of quality management system, and employees shall be aware of quality policy and relevant quality objectives, their combination or their effectiveness on the performance of quality management system, their combination to the effectiveness of quality management system, implications of not conforming with the quality management system requirements. And in this case, to apply this clause, the organization can prepare awareness training program. This program will include the following points. And this awareness training program will include: why do the organization need to implement quality management system based on 9001 requirements? What are the benefits of 9001 requirements? And brief explanation of ISO 9001-2015 edition requirements and their effectiveness, their effect in the performance of quality management system, to know that they are engaged in the performance of quality management system. And I can give you some benefits for ISO 9001, like obtaining credibility. The organization will be credible, and even the product or service provided by the organization will be valid even internationally, or the result also will be valid internationally, because it's an internationally recognized standard, and also obtaining image for the organization. Customer satisfaction, the most important objective of this standard, to enhance the customer satisfaction and to plan also for this, and to provide him with the product or service with the high quality, and to provide him with the valid and the reliable results, and to improve the linkage between all processes inside the organization, as I mentioned before and explained in the process approach. And documented informations, all documented informations will be recorded, and that will be very good for traceability of data for the customer if he has any complaint. And improve evidence for decision making, because any result provided to the decision maker should be within evidence. And the optimal use of resources, very important point. All resources, only required resources shall be provided to the processes inside the organization. And monitoring, always you have monitoring and measuring the resources. Monitoring processes also is very important. As I said, in process approach, you will separate two different processes, and each process will have a leader. This leader will monitor the activities inside this process, and there will be combination between all of them. And continual improvement. Monitoring process also will lead to improvement and high quality for the product or service. And continual improvement, that will be based on monitoring of data and products and success or failure projects. And there are many other benefits also you can add. And last point in this lecture, communication. All processes inside the organization, inside or outside the organization, shall be communicated from the responsible person to the person who need to receive this communication. So the top management is responsible to give some rules, about the communication process, from who will be responsible to do this communication to the customer or supplier or whatever. And especially with the customer, to enhance the customer satisfaction and ensure that to keep the impartiality or safeguard the impartiality inside the organization. So the organization shall determine the internal and external communication relevant to the quality management system, including what needs to be communicated, what you need to communicate, and to whom, and when it needs to be communicated, when, how it should be done. This process of communication, who needs to receive the communication, and who will communicate, who is the responsible person to communicate to the person who needs to receive this communication. That was the end of our lecture for today. Thank you, and see you in the next lecture.